Welcome back, Cloud Architects. By now, you know how computing resources are configured in networks. In this section, we'll show you how to configure virtual machines and deploy applications on them. This is especially useful for lift and shift operations that may require specific hardware configurations. Compute Engine and EC2 take similar approaches to virtual machines, and almost every type of workload runs on them. Configurations are offered in various price-performance options. These change frequently, so you'll want to consult documentation before using them. In general, both services allow you to choose and configure RAM, CPU, and graphics processors, or GPUs, boot disk and operating system, additional disks, IP addresses, and startup scripts with metadata. Disks are block storage volumes for your instances. Both GCE and EC2 offer several types that cover a range of prices and performance, but are very similar in most ways. For details, see the link here. When creating an instance in Compute Engine, you first select your hardware configuration with specific amounts of CPU and RAM. Both GCE and EC2 offer predefined configurations. GCE calls them machine types. EC2 calls them instance types. Predefined configurations may not match exactly in both services, but that's all right because GCE also allows you to customize your amount of CPU, RAM, and GPUs to fit your workload and meet your exact needs. Next, you select a boot disk from a stored image. Both GCE and EC2 allow you to use standard or custom operating system images. Amazon calls them Amazon Machine Images, or AMIs, and Google simply calls them images. Boot disks are durable and contain a bootloader, operating system, and root file system, and may include additional software, such as web servers or databases. You can create your own image from a boot disk or use ones published by others. Amazon stores images in EBS or S3, while Google stores your images in your GCE project and allows you to export and share them with others through Google Cloud Storage. For durable storage, Compute Engine offers persistent disks and EC2 offers elastic block store. Both have options for hard disk and solid-state storage. Compute Engine calls them standard and SSD, and EC2 calls them HDD and SSD. Persistent disks function similarly to physical disks. They are located independently from your instances, so you can detach and move them to keep your data even after you delete instances. Standard disks cost less with lower performance, while SSDs cost more with higher performance, and this is true for GCE and EC2. And like EC2, you also get built-in redundancy and snapshotting. By default, each instance in GCE has a single root persistent disk that contains the operating system. If you need more storage, you can add more disks or even resize existing ones dynamically. To attach a disk, the instance must reside in the same zone that the disk was created in. For very high IOPS and throughput, Compute Engine also offers a third option called local SSDs. They are similar to EC2 ephemeral drives. Unlike persistent disks, they are physically attached to the server that hosts your VM instance. They offer much better performance than persistent disks, but they are ephemeral, which means the data you store persists only until you stop or delete the instance, or the system overwrites it, which it may do at any time. You can't move them around, and you can only add them during instance creation. But they are ideal for caching frequently used, low-value data. There are a number of price and options for disks, so be sure to check the link for more details before using them.